speaking of joining me in my insanity, we actually have some news here that we want to talk about very early. And now is the news that you've probably all heard about. But in case you don't know, a few years ago, we've had an amazing movie called The Joker, directed by Todd Phillips. So this movie comes out and it was very well received. Scored over $1 billion at the box office off of a very small budget. And as with the Warner Brothers Discovery mergers, there's been a lot of questions about what the future of some of these movies are going to be, right? We know that Todd Phillips was kind of tapped to be a consultant, as you will, for some of these upcoming projects for the DC movies, tapped by Zaslav. And it looks like we're getting a new Joker movie. Todd Phillips announced on his Instagram yesterday, Joker Folie à Deux. He posted a picture of the actual script, along with a picture of Joaquin Phoenix reading the script. And we got some clarity on this. It says, Phillips, who directed and co-wrote the first Joker movie starring Joaquin Phoenix, is teaming up again with co-writer Scott Silver on the sequel. Phillips shared the red script over the Instagram page, and that's what we got here. And along with that, we now know what the translation of Folie à Deux means. It means madness for two. So, BC, we're hearing about this. We're hearing about this project. What are your initial thoughts about a new Joker movie, first and foremost?
It's a very interesting idea. It makes sense with the amount of money that the film made. However, it is really weird that we are actually going to get a Joaquin Phoenix sequel because he doesn't do sequels. That's why he refused to do Doctor Strange, because he refused to sign for more than one movie. So I'm wondering, what about this makes him want to jump back into this character? So there's got to be something very interesting there. I remember I was not looking forward to this movie. I went into it kicking and screaming. I was like, the thing about the Joker is why he's so cool, why we like him so much, is because we don't know him. We don't understand why it is that he's as crazy as he is, why he does the things that we do, where he comes from. That's one of the reasons I hated the Gotham version of the Joker, because I don't like knowing the backstory. But, Todd Phillips' Joker did a really good job of kind of flipping that on its own and making us think, yeah, we're gonna get the Joker's backstory. But even he doesn't really know what his backstory is in the movie, and he's still an unreliable narrator. So are we going to keep that process with the sequel going forward? What is Madness for 2? Does that mean are we getting a look at Harley Quinn? Is that what's coming here? Or are we getting Baby Batman? I don't know. I'm excited to see this, though. I mean, if we're got the same crew, maybe we have the same magic.
I was not looking forward to this movie. I was not necessarily looking forward to go back into the mind of Arthur Fleck. The first movie was great. And I think anybody will tell you that the first movie was absolutely amazing. However, it's kind of like watching Schindler's List, right? It was so dark. It was so depressing that it took a lot for me to even want to kind of even have discussions about this movie. So kind of now, and this is the kind of the thing where I'm at with it. Do I agree that the movie was amazing? I do. Do I agree the movie made a lot of money? I do. Do I want to see this movie? Not necessarily. Am I upset that the studio is greenlighting this movie? Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Yeah.
I mean, it only makes sense that the studio would actually go for it. I mean, the movie was nominated for Best Picture at the Academy Awards. The lead guy in it also won Best Actor, right? I mean, and then also it made buku's money. I mean, I believe it came down to being the most profitable DC project that they've ever had.
Pound
for pound. If I am in charge and I'm looking at the only thing that necessarily matters in the entertainment business, the dollar, I am greenlighting this project. So it makes all the sense in the world, right? So with that being said, who is looking for this movie? Who is asking for this movie? And that's the concern that I'm having, because I have a lot of my friends, they're not like me and UBC. They're not avid moviegoers. They're just casual fans of going to go watch some cool stuff. And if they hear Batman's in, they're going to go hear it. And if they call it the Joker, then they're assuming it's Batman. So they're going to go watch it. Some of them feel burned a little bit because They were expecting more of a Batman story. So when they saw what we saw, they weren't really, it didn't appeal to them. So they got their money once. It's like a fool me once, fool me twice type of scenario with some of my friends because I've asked them. They're not too concerned. I can only imagine that would be the mass populace, right? So do I think it's smart for them to make this movie? Yes. Do I think that they're going to make as much as they made the first time? Jury's out. The jury's out. I think they have an uphill battle when it comes to re-engaging the audience to say, hey, we know that you really enjoyed this movie the first time, and we also know that you probably never saw it again because I agree. I don't think that the movie has any rewatchability to it. It's just so hard to watch it. I don't know if they're going to be able to convince audiences to go back out a second time. It's the same concern I had for like the Avatar movies. Avatar, the first one was so, I mean, what did it make? 2.8, 2.9 bill? And I know that
I don't understand.
I don't understand it. I thought the movie was good. I don't see how they're going to capture lightning in the bottle 2, 3, or 4 times. And that's the concern that I have for Joker. It's not that we don't,
Yeah.
I think we both agree. Joaquin Phoenix is one of the most talented actors in Hollywood. Todd Phillips is breaking away from the mold as becoming an up and coming. Well, I guess we can't say up and coming because he's been doing this for a while, but he's emerging as a bona fide star of a director. So no one is questioning if we don't believe they're talented enough to do it. I also believe when the movie comes out, it's going to be amazing. I am just concerned about the audience participation with re-entering back into the mind of Arthur Fleck for this next movie. Now, it begs the question, what does follow you do mean, and what does this have to do with the upcoming movie, right? Well, when you look at follow you do, I believe it stands for illness for two, or it's pretty much a shared mental condition, normally between two people, normally family members, to where if I'm starting to believe something, I can pass it on to my wife, and then she'll start to believe that. Now, whenever it becomes like a family, I believe it's called like folia familia, or, you know, so the fact that it's saying folly for two, folia do means two, I'm guessing it's between two people. Now, I have heard rumors that supposedly they may be going with copycat Jokers. I believe that Screen Rant put an article out there that it may be copycat Jokers, but that's not where I'm believing. I'm thinking it's a Harley Quinn type scenario. The reason I believe that,
Yeah, that's where I would go to.
yeah, and the reason why I believe that is that would make sense with this character. From the first movie, the character had a very he was kind of obsessed with those maternal relationships in his life, or those female relationships in his life with his mother and with the Zazie Beetz character that lived down the hallway. It would only make sense now that if he is in the mental hospital, that's where they would go with this. That they would continue along with that, bring in a Harley Quinn, bring in a therapist, a Harley Quinn type therapist into the mental asylum wherever he is, and then see that connection that way. Now, if he's going to be successful with convincing her to be with him, that's up to the unreliable narration portion of it, which that's the journey that I want to see. But if they go that route, that's what I'm most excited for. What do you think?
You know, I like the idea. I think it's possible to make it more interesting, and I do worry. I don't want this to be one of those things where, you know, we get these, you know, sequels, and in the sequel you have to go bigger and bolder. You know, you always have to take a step up. I don't think Joker is a movie that you have to take a step up. I think you can stay along the same line. If you keep that steady line still going from the first film, I think you'll be okay. I don't think we have to really overdo it. And that's what I hope they don't do. And I don't think, you know, Todd Phillips, I don't think Joaquin Phoenix would get on there for just, you know, we took the first one, now it's bigger and bolder. No, I think he's looking at this going, okay, there's a reason to do this film. And so I'll be okay with that now. But, you know, who is the second? Are we gonna go with the Harley Quinn? Are we gonna see more of Bruce Wayne and see him start diving into madness? You know, we don't really know yet, but I'm excited to see it, I guess.
Yeah,
I'm excited to see what their plan is. Let's put it that way.
I mean, I don't want to see Bruce Wayne. Bruce Wayne was like,
no,
he was what, 6 or 7 in the first movie. So even if they put this 5 years later, The kid's 11. I mean, I don't want to see baby Bruce. We already got that with the Gotham TV show. I don't want to see this. I personally, honestly, I thought that the movie was more successful when it didn't pertain to the Wayne family. I thought the movie, when it brought in the
Yes,
Wayne family, it took me out of the film. I don't want to see that. When the movie stands on its
me
own,
too.
um, it's a magnificent movie, and you see this dive to madness. I really do like the aspect, though, that it's still continuing the trend of actual mental illness. It seems because all you do is a
Yes.
real mental illness that people suffer with, and he did suffer with some mental illness. We do know that from the first movie, and they took the time to study it. It wasn't just a basic caricature of a character that is suffering with something, right?
Yeah.
You can actually feel, you can actually see that they studied how they can take a character like the Joker and fuse that with actual real world scenarios. So that is a take that I do like what they do with that. I'm just trying to sell myself over on, do I really want to go back and get back into being depressed because it was not a fun movie the first time. It beat me up a lot. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm still feeling the punches from that. Um that's one of the main reasons why I just can't turn it back on. So anyway, guys, that's our thoughts on the Joker 2 reveal that, they're making a new Joker movie. Guys, what do you guys think about them coming back with a Joker sequel? Do you trust Todd Phillips and Joaquin Phoenix? Joaquin doesn't really do sequels. So and he's not tied to this one. So him coming back is him on his own saying that they think they cracked it. So what do you guys think about this movie? Comment down below and let us know your thoughts.